Good morning everyone. How are you all? I hope you're all doing great at home. And are you guys interested to get into the class today? Actually, I'm very excited because we will see an interesting poem today, a beautiful poem called In the Buses of Hyderabad. And before getting into that, I'll ask you a few questions. Have you ever gone to bazaars or have you attended any festive temple fair now? I think you must have gone, right? So there you see a lot of stalls selling like fruits, sweets, and toys, all those things, right? So have you ever bought anything? And when you buy things, do you get it the price which the shopkeeper says, or do you bargain? Of course, all of us bargain, right? I have the habit of bargaining. If I get something, I'll ask the shopkeeper to reduce the price. So that is called bargaining, right? So now we'll see an activity related to bargaining. Come ma'am, come here, come to my bazaar. We have beautiful bangles, earrings and so many cloths and
Hello.
Hi ma'am.
See, what are the things we have? The bangles, earrings, very good. I actually need a piece of cloth. Do you have?
Yeah, I have brocade cloth. It's an expensive cloth and where we have patterns woven into it. Actually, it's an expensive cloth. I
Can
sell
I
it
see?
for 500 actually.
Yeah.
But for you, I can give it for 400. I've reduced the price. So there's no point of bargaining. So you can get it for 400.
How much is this?
400 I'll give it.
400.
Yes.
Say, thought it would be around 200 or 300. I thought it would be around 200 or 300. Could you please reduce it for me?
No, ma'am. Actually, I have reduced 100 rupees and I told you that I can give it for 400.
Actually, bargaining is not my habit, but I can reduce. Yeah, I hope so. You can reduce for this.
Okay.
Because 400 is too much. You to know that.
Okay, I can reduce you 50 rupees. Give me 3.
Hey, yeah, what is this? Yeah, at least I already told you that I thought it would be around 200 or 300. So if you can give it for me around 300 at least.
Can I give it for 300?
See, if you think you can.
Okay,
I actually want to buy this. Think of me.
Okay, finally I'm fixing it for 300.
Very good, thank you. And what else do you have? Wow,
Bangles,
there is a
earrings.
nice earring. How much is this?
This is actually 50 rupees.
See, superb. Oh, very beautiful and bright color. How much is this?
50.
50 rupees. See, another shops I have seen the earrings for 30 rupees.
What, ma'am? You're bargaining for each and everything.
Bargaining is gentle, right?
Okay, I'll give it for same 30 rupees.
Okay, so both for this how much?
Okay, ma'am. Give me 330 rupees.
330 rupees. Here are the minus.
Yes, get your change.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. It's so nice of you. Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am. Okay, children, now that we have seen the activity, right, about bargaining, now we get into the poem In the Buses of Hyderabad. So here, In the Buses of Hyderabad was written by Sarojini Naidu. Who is the writer? Who is the poet? Sarojini Naidu. Very good. So here we will see an introduction about Sarojini Naidu through a video.
In the Bazaars of Hyderabad poem written by Sarojini Naidu. She was a famous political activist, feminist, and a distinguished poet who spent much of her life campaigning for Indian independence. As we know, she was a freedom fighter. She was born on 13th February 1879. She began writing at the age of 12. She was the second woman to become the president of the Indian National Congress in 1925. Her famous works include Maga Munir and The Golden Trestle. She was the first woman to become a governor in 1947. Sarojini Naidu was called the Nightingale of India. She earned this nickname for herself because of her contribution to poetry. Her works, rich in imaginary, covered a variety of themes like love, death, separation, among others. Most of her poems have lines repeated across stanzas. This is similar to a nightingale's song, repetitive yet beautiful. Thus, she earned the title, the Nightingale of India. Sarojini Naidu was called the Nightingale of India. She earned this nickname for herself because of her contribution to poetry. Her works, rich in imaginary, covered a variety of themes like love, death, separation, among others. Most of her poems have lines repeated across stanzas. This is similar to a nightingale's song, repetitive yet beautiful. Thus, she earned the title the Nightingale of India. After India gained independence, she became the first governor of the United Provinces, present day it is Uttar Pradesh, and worked in this role until she died. Her poem, The Gift of India, reflects Sarojini's love for her country and reminds us of the sacrifices made by Indian soldiers during the First World War. She died on 2nd March 1949 in Lucknow. When she died, her age was 70. We all know that International Women's Day is celebrated on March 8, but National Women's Day is celebrated on the birth date of Sarojini Naidu, that is on Feb 13.
Okay children, as we have seen in the video, Sarojini Naidu is a poet from Hyderabad and she was an Indian activist and who fought for the independence of our country, and she is known as the Nightingale of India, right? And her birthday, which is on February 13, we celebrate it as National Women's Day, and usually we celebrate March 8 as International Women's Day, and Sarojini Naidu's birthday that falls on Feb 13, we celebrate it as National Women's Day. And now we get into the poem, and this poem, which is in 5 stanzas, was first published in 1912, okay? And which will enter into the poem now. So, as you have known, the title of the poem is In the Buses of Hyderabad. Repeat it, In the Buses of Hyderabad, and that is written by Sarojini Naidu. Who is the poet? Very good, Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini, Sarojini, and Naidu, Naidu, Sarojini Naidu. Very good. So, I shall read the poem first. Here we have got only 3 stanzas, and in the next class we will see the remaining. So first we learn about the 3 stanzas. Okay. First I shall read it once. What do you sell, O ye merchants? Richly your wares are displayed. Turbans of crimson and silver, tunics of purple brocade, with mirrors with panels of amber, daggers with handles of jade. What do you weigh, O ye vendors? Saffron and lentil and rice. What do you grind, O ye maidens? Sandalwood, henna and spice. What do you call, O ye peddlers? Chestnut and ivory dice. What do you make, O ye goldsmith? Bracelet, anklet and ring. Bells for the feet of blue pigeons, frayed as a dragonfly's wing. Girdles of gold for the dancers, scabbards of gold for the king. So here we have got 3 stanzas, okay? And before getting into the poem, and before I explain you, we should see the hard words here. And first word, crimson. Crimson means dark purple red color. What's the meaning of crimson? Dark purple red color. And the spelling of crimson is C-R-I-M-S-O-N, crimson. Dark purple red color. And next, tunic. Tunic means a long loose shirt. Okay? T-U-N-I-C, tunic, a long loose shirt. Third word, brocade. B-R-O-C-A-D-E, brocade, which means expensive thick cloth with a pattern woven into it. Expensive thick cloth with a pattern woven into it. Fourth word, maiden. M-A-I-D-E-N, maiden. The maiden is a girl or a woman who is not married. Okay, the meaning is a girl or a woman who is not married. And the fifth word is amber, which means a hard yellow-brown substance and which is used for making jewelries. What is the spelling of amber? A-M-B-E-R. A-M-B-E-R. And the next word is frail, which means physically weak. What do you mean by frail? Physically weak. The spelling of frail is F-R-A-I-L. Frail. And next word, scabbard, which means a for the blade of a sword. What is the meaning of scabbard? A cover for the blade of a sword. The spelling of scabbard is S-C-A-B-B-A-R-D. Scabbard. The meaning is a cover for the blade of a sword. Okay, so these are the hard words we have got in the poem, and in that way I'll also explain you the other words. Okay. And now, before entering into this poem, I'll tell you why this poem was written. Okay. So what happened during that time? Sarojini Naidu wanted to write a poem, and she wanted to spread the news that Indians wanted to boycott the British products and they wanted to sell their own Indian products. So she thought that this is the best way to share her ideas, because newspapers were banned during that time, and she wanted to do this with poem. Okay, so that's why she has written this poem. So this mainly shows the importance of Indian product and to boycott the British products. Okay, and here we go with the first stanza. What do you sell, O ye merchants? Richly your wares are displayed. Turbans of crimson and silver. So here the meaning of turban is a long piece of cloth wrapped around the head. Okay, so usually you can see Punjabis wearing turbans. Okay, so here the poet is asking the merchants what they are selling as their richly wares are displayed, which means wares means products which are kept for sales. So she's asking, you have displayed the products and what are you selling? And the merchant is answering that we are selling turbans of crimson and silver. So turbans which are made up of crimson and silver color. Okay, and the merchant is answering to the poet that he is selling turbans which are made in the color of crimson and silver. Crimson means, here we have got meaning a dark purple red color. Okay, a dark purple red color. So he is saying that we are selling turbans of crimson and silver color and tunics of purple brocade. What do you mean by tunics? Here tunics means a long blue shirt which is usually worn by women. Okay, tunics of purple brocade. What's the meaning of brocade here? Expensive thick cloth with a pattern woven into it. So here he is saying that we are selling tunics which is made up of brocade. Brocade, expensive thick cloth with a pattern woven into it. So what they are selling? They are selling a long blue shirt which is made with the fabric that is brocade, which is expensive, and it's a big cloth with a pattern woven into it. So here you can see this is a brocade. Okay, this is an expensive cloth, thick cloth where they have pattern into it. Okay, so this is an example of brocade. And here next, mirrors with panels of amber, and merchant is saying that we are selling also mirrors with panels of amber. What do you mean by amber? Here we have got the meaning, a hot yellow brown substance which is used for making jewelry. So here the meaning of amber is a hot yellow brown substance which is used for making jewelry. So here the merchant is selling mirrors with panels of amber. The panels of the mirrors are made up of amber. Okay, and next he is saying that daggers with handles of jade. What is he selling? Daggers with handles of jade. Here daggers means a short knife used for weapons. Okay, so that handles of daggers, that knife was made up of jade. What do you mean by jade? Jade means it's also like a amber, but it's in the color of green. It's a green substance, a hard green substance which is used for making jewelry. Okay, so he's saying that we are making daggers with handles of jade. Okay, so from the first person, that is merchants, the poet is asking, she's getting these many answers. Okay, and she's asking the question what they are selling, and the merchant is replying that he is selling turbans of crimson and silver, tunics of purple brocade, mirrors with panels of amber, and daggers with handles of jade. Okay, is that clear? We have completed the first stanza and we move to the next stanza. Okay, I shall read it once. and ivory dyes. So here, what they're saying is, the poet again, she's going to a vendor. Vendor means a person who sells things, okay? She's going to the vendor and asking, what are you weighing and selling? So he's weighing and selling some products, and the poet, that's Sarojini Naidu, is going to him and asking, what are you weighing and selling? And here this vendor is answering that he is selling saffron, lentil and rice. Okay, what do you mean by saffron? Have you seen saffron? Saffron actually it's like flour, and which we use it for flavoring or adding color to food. Okay, and this is we get this from a plant called saffron crocus. Okay. And lentil here means it's like a pulse, like we have doodh dal at home, right? It's mostly like doodh dal, but it's not actually doodh dal, it's like a doodh dal and it's a kind of pulse. And rice we obviously know we have at home and we eat daily, right? So he's saying that he's weighing saffron and selling these many goods, saffron, lentil and rice. Okay, next she's asking to the maidens, what do you grind, O ye maidens? So here maidens are grinding something, okay? And she's asking, what are you grinding? And they are replying that they are grinding sandalwood, henna and spice, okay? Sandalwood, henna and spice. What's the meaning of henna here? Have you seen henna? So here I have actually done this for you to show you all. So we grind henna leaves and we make mehndis like this, right? So this is henna. And spice. Spice you might have known because we use a lot of spice in our food like pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, cumin seeds. So all this comes under spices, okay? And next, what do you call, O ye peddlers, chessmen and ivory dyes? And next she is asking to the peddlers. Who is a peddler? Peddler means someone who moves from one place to another, not to sell things, okay? Mainly they go on their own transport, bike or cycle, and they keep all their things at the back of the vehicle and they sell, okay? So what do you call, O ye peddlers? This peddler is calling out that he is selling chessmen and ivory dyes. You might have seen people calling out, right? Like, so here this peddler is calling out chessmen, ivory dyes, chessmen, ivory dyes. So after hearing this, she is going to the peddler and asking, what are you selling? So here he is saying that I am selling chessmen and dyes which is made up of ivory, okay? And this is about the stanza, okay? So we have seen this stanza. So here the poet is asking to the vendors what he is selling, and the vendor is replying that he is selling saffron, lentil and rice. And later she asked to the maidens that what they are grinding, and they reply that they are grinding sandalwood, henna and spice. And later she is going to the peddler and asking, what are you calling and selling? And he is saying that he is selling chessmen and ivory dyes which is made up of ivory, okay? So look at here children, we have got chessmen, chessboard and chessman and the dice, okay? So you might have played with dices and all, we played like this, no? So dice and chessmen, okay? That peddler is selling chessmen and ivory dyes. And next we move to the third stanza. What do you make, O ye goldsmith? Bracelet and anklet and ring, bells for the feet of blue pigeons, frail as a dragonfly's wing, girdles of gold for the dancers, scarves of gold for the king. So here in the third stanza, the poet Sarojini Naidu, she goes to the goldsmith. Who is the goldsmith? One who makes jewelry, right? So he goes to the goldsmith and she asks her, what are you selling? And this goldsmith, he replies that he is selling bracelet and anklet and ring. So what's that? Bracelet. Bracelet is some jewelry. It's a jewelry which we wear in our wrist, okay? So here you can see it's a bracelet, okay? A jewelry which we wear in our wrist. And what else he says? He says anklet and ring. What's anklet? Anklet here. This is an example of anklet which we wear in our ankles, okay? In Tamil we call it golusu, right? So this is anklets which we wear in our ankles. And what else he sells? Ring. So he sells ring, right? So here, you see this ring? So this is ring, right? So he sells bracelet, anklet and ring. So all this made up of gold because that goldsmith is making all this jewelry. So it is made up of gold. I have shown you the silver thing, but this actually he was making gold anklets, okay? And what else he was making? He was making bells for the feet of blue pigeons, okay? He was making bells. Small tiny little bells for the blue pigeons, and he is describing the bells that it is frail as a dragonfly's wing. What is the meaning of frail? Physically weak here. Frail means physically weak. So he is describing that the bells for the blue pigeons is so frail as a dragonfly's wing. What do you mean by frail? As we have seen, physically weak. It is so delicate. That bells are so delicate and soft, like a dragonfly's wing. So you have seen dragonfly's wings, it is so delicate and soft, right? So like that, the bells for the pigeons were so soft and delicate as like dragonfly's wing. And next, girdles of gold for the dancers. And he's also making girdles of gold for the dancers. Here, girdles means inner garment, okay? In those days, the dancers used inner garments, so that was made up of gold. So he's making girdles of gold for the dancers and scabbards of gold for the king. And what is the next one? He's saying scabbards of gold for the king. What do you mean by scabbards? Here we have got scabbard means a cover for the blade of a sword. So if you have seen sword, we have a blade, right? Sharp blade. So we need to protect it by having a scabbard, which is the cover to close and keep it safe, okay? So here he is saying that he is making a cover for the blade of a sword. So that both is saying that he is making scabbards of gold for the king. He is making for the king, okay? He is making scabbards in gold for the king. So here in this stanza we could see that poet Sarojini Naidu is asking to the goldsmith what he is making and selling, and here he replies that he is selling bracelet, anklet and ring, and he is also making bells for the feet of blue pigeons, and is describing that those bells are so delicate and frail as a dragonfly's wing, and he is making girdles of gold for the dancers and scabbards of gold for the king. So have you understood, children? So this is about the third stanza. So now we shall see, to recap what we have learned so far. So we have learned that Sarojini Naidu, she is going to the merchants, vendors, maidens, peddlers, goldsmiths, all these people which are all in the bazaars of Hyderabad, okay? Mainly you have to remember this is happening in the bazaars of Hyderabad, okay? She's going to all the merchants and she's asking what they are selling, and the merchants, vendors, maidens, peddlers, goldsmiths, all they are replying to her what they are making and selling. So here in the first stanza, we see that merchants reply that they are selling turbans of crimson and silver, tunics of purple brocade, mirrors with handles of amber, and daggers with handles of jade. So these are the things that the merchant was making and selling. And next she asks to the vendors that what they are bringing and selling, and that vendor is answering that he is selling saffron, lentil and rice. And next she goes to the maidens and asks what they are grinding, and she replies that, and then maidens reply that they grind sandalwood, henna and spice. And next she goes to the peddlers and asks what they are selling, and he is calling out chessmen and ivory dice. So she is going to him and asking what he is selling, and he replies that he is selling chessmen and ivory dice. And next what happens? She finally goes to the goldsmith and asks what he's making and selling, and he replies that he makes bracelet, anklet and rings, and also bells for the feet of blue pigeons. And he's saying that it's so fragile and so delicate as dragonflies wing, and adds that he also sells girdles of gold for the dances and stabbards of gold for the king. Okay, so this is all about these three stanzas. Okay, I hope you have understood. So here we'll see the rhyming words which is given in the first stanza: display, brocade, jade. So these three words are the rhyming words. Okay, displayed, brocade, jade. All these words ends with the same sound, right? Display, D-I-S-P-L-A-Y-E-D. Display, brocade, B-R-O-C-A-D-E. Brocade, and jade, J-A-D-E. Jade. And next, silver, amber. Silver, amber. These two words ends with the same sound and it's a rhyming word. Silver, amber. S-I-L-V-E-R. Silver, amber. A-M-B-E-R. Amber. Okay, and we'll see in the next stanza what are the rhyming words. I think we have got rice, spice, dice. Okay, rice, spice and dice. R-I-C-E, rice, spice. S-P-I-C-E, spice, dice. D-I-C-E, dice. So we have got three words: rice, spice and dice. Okay, and in the third stanza we have got ring, wing, king. So all these three words ends with the same sound: ring, wing, king. R-I-N-G, ring. W-I-N-G, wing. K-I-N-G, king. Okay, so these are the rhyming words that takes place in the poem in the buzzards of Hyderabad. Okay children, so we have learned the poem in the buzzards of Hyderabad. I have explained you up to 3 stanzas, right? In today's class we have learned up to 3 stanzas, and in the next class we will see the remaining 2 stanzas. Okay.
Here you can see a peddler. Peddler means someone who goes from one place to another selling things. This is a picture of spices. Spices means an aromatic substance used to flavor food. For example, cloves, pepper, cumin, cardamom, cinnamon, etc. This is a picture of sandalwood.
This is a picture of lentil. Lentil means a high protein pulse.
This is the picture of saffron. Saffron is a spice that comes from the flowers of saffron crocus. Here you can see amber. The meaning of amber is a hard yellow-brown substance used for making jewelry.
See here children, you can see jade, which means a hard green substance used for making jewelry and art objects. So what do you mean by jade? A hard green substance used for making jewelry and art objects.
Tunics of purple brocade. Here tunic means a long loose shirt usually worn by women. Turbans of crimson and silver. Here turban means a long piece of cloth wrapped around the head, worn especially by Sikh, Hindu and Muslim men. Crimson means dark purple red color. Here brocade means expensive thick cloth with a pattern woven into it. So this is a purple brocade.
Okay children, see here for your home assignment you have got write the rhyming words, synonyms and answer the following questions with reference to the context. Okay, so you have to write the rhyming words, synonyms and answer the following questions with reference to the context. And for your activity you have got, write a paragraph about a fair that you have recently visited. So if you have visited a fair, just write a paragraph about your experience. Okay. So this is your home assignment and activity. Okay children, we'll see you in the next class. Thank you.